We are live. Hold on. Right now. All right, Sis Khalil, I need your help. Oh, there it is. I think I got it. Now.
We didn't get through the whole countdown.
But you don't know this virus. It's new, it's different. It mutates.
What happened?
I don't know.
No, we need the Honorable Minister.
But you don't know this virus. It's new, it's different. It mutates and goes in different directions with a different strain of itself. So whether I'm present or absent, the Executive Council of the Nation of Islam must call our scientists. Come and let's sit down. Our virologists, our epidemiologists, those of us who know the science. We cannot let them bring anything to us that we don't dissect.
There we are.
Pause for the cause. That was a moment of silence for all of those who don't know. We still dissecting.
Oh my God!
The technical difficulties.
Right. Dissecting, correcting, redirecting, helping you get your mind right, saving lives.
We want to make sure y'all was paying attention.
Right. Exactly.
All the delays.
How profound that?
Nothing's working. Nothing's working.
How profound that message still is. But thank you for working through that. Y'all give Sister Michelle some love again. She worked through that piece. She worked through it. She was determined.
I don't know what it is with my computer and the internet, but it's just not my friend. Anyway, welcome in Thursday Night Talk.
Blame it on the computer.
Listen, Brother Tony, leave me alone. That's what it is tonight. It's this computer. Welcome, everyone. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. Assalamu alaikum. Blessings to our family, our audience, everybody that's coming in. But y'all know, as you are coming through the door, what I want you to do. I need you to like, share.
Right.
Like, share. That's your job. That's right, Beloved. That's their job for tonight. I need to like, share. Get everybody in on a conversation because we got something good for you all this evening. We always bringing jewels, y'all, right? We always dropping jewels. You know what I mean? But, for us to be able to say that we've done something really, really good, it's when you replicate and share. Sharing is caring. So anyway, I digress. I'm just saying. Anyway, thank you for the 7th Freedom Coalition. Thank you for this team. Come on now. For the team and for us as well. We do a lot of work in the background.
Everybody, what a beautiful team is, Sister Michelle.
A beautiful team. Hard hitters. Sister Kalila, Brother Lau, Brother Tony. Just always bringing something of value. And the team on the chats. The 7th Freedom Coalition still hanging in there. We doing our thing. Bringing y'all all the solutions, the news, dissecting. We're just a wealth of information. And you just really can't miss us. We the best thing in the town. I know y'all don't know that quite 100% yet, right, Brother Lau? But we the best people. I'm just saying, we bring some good stuff.
That's right.
I underestimate this team right here. Okay, that's right, life saving. So, I am your sister Michelle, your moderator for this evening, and hopefully my internet doesn't, mess with y'all tonight. But it's my disclaimer coming in right now, but. I do appreciate everyone coming in and really do grab family, friends, aunties, uncles, sisters, brothers, children, your sons, your daughters, because everything that's right. Everything that we're giving, it is a solution, right? It's helpful things that helps you enrich your lives and make things better, right? And I think that's what we're about. Just making things better, a little easier, right? Because everybody's got a lot on their plate and we're just trying to take some of it off. So anyway, I will start to do the handoff to Brother Lau, and then Brother Lau will do the rounds, and then you will hear in just a moment about our special guest. But I will leave that. But anyway, Brother Lau, I'm going to hand it over
I'm
to
ready.
you.
Right that
Got
way.
it?
We good. Got it.
Woo!
Still running the race of life.
That's
Still
right.
running the race of life. You know, I'll give a quick Bob Marley quote in a minute. First, I just want to say to my Muslim brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. To my Christian brothers and sisters, praise the Lord. To my revolutionaries, Umgawa Black Power. To all my peace and freedom loving people across the land, peace and blessings to you all. Welcome to this beautiful, beautiful square round table. This Thursday night talk, family, where again, life-saving information is so important. And I have to say this, dear family, in applauding this team, you know, one of the things that we say that we're all about is to help save lives.
That's right.
And I'm just looking back at the last 3 programs that we've had by the grace of Almighty God, Allah, that have been just very timely.
Yes.
You know, for people, you know, who going through stuff.
That's
you know,
right.
And I just want to applaud this team for recognizing the pulse, being able to get what our people need. So I kind of see this tonight as like a I don't know. This is kind of like the 4P. This is like the quadruple, like the 4th piece that when we started off with our brother Ruben on the piece with mental health.
Yes.
He dealt specifically with understanding cultural relevancy and diagnosing certain things. And then we went from our brother talking about that beautiful wellness and meditation with Rita Boone, right? And Rita Boone even took us through some natural practices and some things to learn about everything. And then, because family, look, if we lose our mind, we ain't got nothing else. And then we had our brother Melvin L on.
That's right.
Took us a couple more levels under the sea in terms of getting in touch with ourselves and family. I'm telling you tonight, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. How many times have we said something and wanted to take it back? Think about that.
I don't know. It all depends on the relative.
Right. And how many times have we done something and then after the fact, because we didn't have self-control, family? And that's what this beautiful, beautiful series is about. You know, but I just want to say, I want to thank the team for being so sensitive to the needs of our community. And lastly, for all of our perfect people who listen and tune in. We thank you so much for being perfect. And since you have it all together, why don't you perfectly look at the material that we have and perfectly give it to everybody in your family who's not blessed to be perfect like you. Everybody in your circle, so you can at least do your job and begin to share some of this life-saving information. So when you think of the 7th Region Coalition, think about that lighthouse of people coming through some treacherous waters in a very dark time. But there's a light, and that beautiful light will guide us to help save lives. So I'm grateful, looking forward to our special guest tonight. Black history won't be a mystery after tonight, that's for sure. After these next 3 weeks. But I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to pass it uptown to my beloved sister Khalila Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. I'm grabbing it, brother.
Right, there you go.
Look, I'm doing all my liking and sharing and caring and all of that good stuff. But I want to start off in the most holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, always being witness that there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. I would like to greet you all in the greeting words of sincere peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. And I want to say Happy Savior's Day.
Happy Savior's Day.
For those of you who do not know what that means, it's our Christmas, y'all. It's our time that we can celebrate. We can give presents. We can just it's a beautiful celebration for a Savior that saved our lives. And not only he saved our life, but he also made us save yours. So not only we are celebrating him, but we're celebrating ourselves, and we're celebrating you all, because
That's right.
just like when you like and share, you
That's
are
right.
now a savior.
Quick
That's
standing
right.
ovation. All
All right.
those who've been liking and sharing, we love you. Keep liking and
Yes.
sharing.
That's
All of y'all who
right.
do that,
Please
we love
keep
you for that.
liking and sharing. So I just want to welcome you all again. And I'm excited because again, this is another you know, subject that I really want to dive into because I really wanted to really get centered. That's the key. Being centered and being at peace within, not without, because the
Mm,
outness can't give you peace. It's something, it starts
yeah.
within. All
Mm,
right. So we have to start off within. And this beautiful sister that's going to be coming on shortly, she's going to teach us how to start that peace within with certain techniques in regards to how we can start. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic over to our dear brother, Brother Tony. See, look, Brother Tony.
Antonio.
Yeah. This
Yes,
Brother Tony always
indeed.
do. We do it so fresh, right?
Moving,
It
moving mountains.
is.
Y'all
It is
showing off.
true.
Y'all showing off. All
Look.
right. Black excellence. Black excellence. I see you showing off.
Y'all something else, man. Peace and hotep, shalom, baragani, buenos dias, sakpase, buenas noches, really, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum
And greetings to
salam.
everyone tuning in. As it was mentioned, we're going to have our beloved sister on. She just reported in to me via phone. She will be on in about 10 minutes. As she's very very busy and active member of our community, saving lives every day through
Mm,
her work.
mm,
So she's someone that is to be commended. In fact, I mean, right after she's being interviewed tonight, she has another program to be on, not virtually, but physically teaching other students um,
Beautiful.
the benefits of yoga and holistic wellness. So we're going to be hearing from our sister, if I may, Sister Fabienne Claude. She's very, very, very active in, as I said, here in Miami, Florida. We look forward to hearing her words, and we look forward to all of you tuning in with this very vital message of how we can save lives more ways than just one. Sometimes we don't think how vital it is to be able to breathe properly and actually
mm.
practice breathing properly. We talked about that
Right,
in the previous shows,
Mm,
how vital it is to eat properly.
that's right.
mm,
As we members of the Nation of Islam, we're taught how to eat to live. And there are, of course, members of other righteous communities that they have their dietary law. We're just trying to get it right
right.
and build on common ground with one another so that we could guide our people to safety. I would look forward to this beautiful discussion tonight, family.
Beautiful.
Mm,
Beautiful.
beautiful.
Get your peoples. And all y'all who wait to the last minute and you hear something and then you call them in. No, we telling you, get them now. Particularly the ones that get on your nerves the most. Those are the ones you really want to get on tonight. Those
Those
ones.
are the ones you need to call.
Right now.
Don't
Now,
text them, call them.
Like, share,
Hey,
like, share. Call
get
them out.
on now.
now listen. Now listen. Now I think Brother Lau, you said it
Mhm.
best. I think if you look at our past couple of shows, I mean,
Mm,
this thing is kind of laying out like some steps,
right,
right? I really, I'm
Mm.
I'm starting to see that, and I think that this whole topic that we're really about to get into is just taking it to the next level of
Wow.
just just inner awareness, right? And
right.
understanding your body and through movements and just using the mind. It's just
Mm.
taking it to the next level. I just feel like we just keep leveling it up, leveling it up,
Right.
leveling it up.
That's
I
right.
mean,
Mhm.
it's an amazing thing. So
Mhm.
anyway, before we get started, Brother Lai, I know that there's something that you wanted to discuss before our sister is going to come on and talk to us about what she's involved in her
Mhm.
health and wellness arena. So do you want to kick off or show
Well, yeah,
anything or
we,
talk
we
about
can
anything
definitely do that. And then I'll let you know when to segue into that video introduction. But family, this is known by many as Black History Month. And
more?
let's please understand, while we clearly understand that there needs to be some focused time to look in on ourselves collectively and to have different seasons for that. But when you're 17,000 million leagues underneath the sea and drowning, then we might want to use the whole year. And somebody, I don't know where it started from, but they dubbed this year's theme, so to speak, for Black History Month about Black health and wellness.
Right.
And anytime that we can talk about Black health and wellness is a very, very important conversation to have. And so, as we go into this, I'm reminded right now of a Public Enemy song, "Who Stole the Soul?" Because you look at so many practices and things that people are doing, but then when you trace their origins and you trace the roots of it, it's from people that look just like us.
That's right.
And so what I love about this topic that we're going to be getting into is as we and I want to say this too first, because it's important, because Sister Michelle, you said something key, how it's been leading up. A lot of times, family, real talk, we know what to do, but we don't have practices to do it.
That's true.
That's true.
We all know I need to breathe better. I need to breathe better. But if we had techniques and things that we can do on a regular basis, then we will find ourselves becoming, watch this, family, natural and not normal. And so, Kemetic yoga. Now, let's be honest for a minute. Just as much, if we would have said to people, what does Moses look like right now? The white man that you pictured. Let's be honest, right? I know some of y'all out there listening, right? If we said right now, right? If we said, oh, look at Jesus Christ. I know what some of you would picture right now. Look, can we just be honest? Just be honest. We got
Michelangelo, the flowy hair, brother.
Right. We got some work to do, family, right? We got work to do. Right. But in that work that we have to do, we got to recognize that we're the origin of so much. And if we would accept our own and be ourselves, right? If we said the word yoga, I know you don't even see nobody that look like you and me. You see, right? You might see Indians from India, right? You might hear snake, you might see all other kind of things, but what a beautiful concept to come from our people. And so since our sister's going to be talking about it, now I must tell you this, right? If you don't just listen, but get yourself in a comfortable space, because all of the guests that we brought on, they shared a technique, they've done something, and I'm just letting y'all know it works. If you don't want to work it, that's a you problem, not an us problem. But since she's going to be talking about Kemetic yoga, what a beautiful thing. And when you watch, we're just going to watch the first couple of minutes of this video, if we can get it prepared, but watch how much of the movement is naturally ours when we embrace it. And I also want us to look at the context of the different names that are used to identify with things. And this is definitely my last point on it. I have a game that I play with children. How many of you all grew up playing Marco Polo? Tell the truth, don't lie. Marco Polo.
I
right? Remember that, right?
could never figure out what the game had to do with the person.
We changed the script on them. I had them running around saying stuff like Tucson, Overture.
Oh, there
Nathaniel,
you go.
Turner, Harriet Tubman. We gotta flip the script. Like remember Duck, Goose.
Right.
What about Prince, Princess, King, Queen?
Yeah, because I didn't understand the whole duck, goose thing. I'm not a duck or a goose.
You know what?
Oh, Lord.
I'm saying that's what I was saying when I was a child.
To your
so,
I didn't get it.
Right?
I was a stiff.
we bring you stuff. Now I'm gonna tell you, we ain't gonna show off right now today, but let's listen to this introduction of what Kemetic yoga is, and then we're gonna have someone come on shortly after and talk about it and get some feedback on it. So, family, let's learn and let's grow. The mind is like a parachute; it only works if it's open. Can we roll that video?
Yes.
And y'all supposed to still be getting your people, right? Right.
Please bring him in. Bring him in. Grab a friend. You coming? You got to bring somebody with you.
Me and you, your mama and your cousins too.
Hey, love. I'm Hortensia Campbell, aka 10C of UfuluChild.com, and today I'm going to guide you through an introductory Kemetic yoga practice. We'll be doing a Kemetic sun salutation, as well as a sequence called Ma'at Ka. But before we get into that, I want to give you some background. Like all other poses in Kemetic yoga, both the Kemetic version of the sun salutation sequence and the Ma'at Ka sequence are designed to activate your major joint and muscle groups, while massaging the internal organs and activating reflexology points in your hands and feet. 3 things to keep in mind. 1, breathe. Let your breath circulation be your guide and focus. 2, be kind to your body. Soften your knees. Ground your hands and your feet, and align from the inside out. 3, love on yourself. Celebrate, forgive, and commit to yourself during your practice. So, take a deep 4-part breath. And we'll meet on the mat. I invite you to close your eyes while lying down on your back. Allow your hands to lay on top of your chest with your thumbs connected, forming a pyramid, over your solar plexus. Connect the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth to help circulate your energy. I invite you to perform a body scan from head to toe. During your body scan, simply bring your awareness to deepening your breath and noticing any areas of tension within your body. Visualize your breath filling any area of tension that you find and sending relaxation there. Begin at the crown of your head and slowly scan all the way down to your toes and the soles of your feet. As you do this, I'll take you on a journey through the stories of a little boy and Mother Ma'at. There was once a boy.
You know, and so family, as it's a shame that we're not used to doing things that not only relax us in this crazy world, but things that literally connect. I mean, I just want to get some thoughts on that, but I want to bring a philosopher into the conversation real quick, and you all might be able to guess who this philosopher is, because we all need practices as we come in from a crazy world. And this is what this great philosopher said. He said, it's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Broken glass everywhere.
Everywhere.
Living in the alley like they just don't care. Can't take the smell, can't take the noise, got no money to move out. I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with baseball bat. Tried to get away, but couldn't get far because the man with the took repossessed my car. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge. Family, you gotta have life-saving practices. And y'all, you know who that. You do that. Who that? Somebody in the chat better know who that was, right? What's going on in your family, right?
Was that Curtis
Who was that
Blow?
great philosopher? Oh my goodness! No, she didn't say
No,
that.
I'm gonna revoke your hip hop card, Michelle.
Sister Michelle.
Oh no!
I'm sorry. It's all the same year.
Oh no, it's not. It's not even the same.
I'm really revoking your card now.
But I remember it. But I remember it. See, I was a little girl, but I remember it though.
Sister Michelle from New
I
York.
was younger than you.
I don't remember the artist.
Somebody in the chat, please enlighten. Oh no! Before she says another name, family, somebody in the chat, please enlighten our sister before she throws out another name. Quickly, family, quickly, because my goodness, right? That's the
Xavier, we're being pushed right now.
We want the artist. We want the artist.
Give
we want the artist.
We want the artist. Right? Are we gonna have to
See,
tell y'all the
nobody
artist?
know.
Oh
Nobody
my
know.
goodness. All right, well, I tell you what, Sister Kalila, the three of us are going to say on the count of three, we're going to say the name at the same time since you think nobody knows. All right, Brother Tony, Sister Kalila, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Grandmaster
Grandmaster
Flash.
Flash and the
Grandmaster
Furious
Flash.
Five.
Oh,
And the Furious
I'm
Five.
talking about like the beginning. The beginning.
Oh,
He
okay.
was there at the beginning.
Mhm. Right.
Was that late?
And
That
it
was late
still fits
70s,
today.
right? Late 70s?
Grant,
That was
early
that late
80s.
70s?
Early 80s.
Early
Early
80s.
Still,
80s.
That
Okay,
was,
still
early
fits
80s.
see, that
today.
particular
No, you know what?
song.
That was yesterday. That was today. And
Right.
unfortunately, it's going to be tomorrow if we don't start taking on some of these life-saving practices that we're
Yeah,
talking
you're
about.
right. Yeah.
That's
Right, the
right.
body scan. And I just want to hear, what did you all think about some of the different things in the video? I want to get some feedback from you all.
Oh.
Well,
Oh, go
well,
ahead.
first of all, I want to first of all give a shout out to Melvin, right?
Mm,
Because I tried the technique that
wow.
Melvin gave us.
Beautiful.
And listen, when I got off of off the show, Melvin was being requested by popular demand. They was like, "Hey, we want
Wow. Beautiful.
we want Melvin back.
You gotta do a
We
part
gotta
two,
bring
part
Melvin
three.
Beautiful.
back." So,
Beautiful.
and the thing is, I share those same sentiments simply because I utilized his tactic, and especially with the eye,
Ooh, to the
the
nose. Right, right. Mm,
nose. That helped me out so much because they use a term in yoga called monkey brains, where your brains are all
right.
over the. And I know that our sister might share that as well, but it totally centered me. And I mean, everything that I was thinking about completely vanished. You must try it. It's such a wonderful technique. But I like the part where, because I'm just being honest,
Mhm.
I knew how to sit in as they call it, Indian style, right? But I would rather lay down to practice meditation
Excellent.
versus doing it in an Indian style performance.
You know
Because
yourself.
yeah,
You know
exactly.
yourself.
So we're so used to, again, practicing other techniques
Wow.
that
Right.
is suitable for other people.
Right.
But the
And it's supposed
first
to be your
thing,
own practice. Salute, Sister
exactly.
Kalila.
So
You're right.
I really appreciate the laying down and the breathing technique that the sister shared with us. And it's all about breathing, and it's all about repetitious breathing. So I really enjoy that.
Beautiful.
Mm.
Beautiful.
Well, I think when I saw the video, I immediately, when she said put your hands over your solar plex
Mm-hmm.
and breathe and do a body scan.
Mm.
That was, it's funny. It's that, you learn that through meditation.
Mm.
Is my
Is
sister
something
stuck?
that you should
Okay.
do because it's forcing you to recognize. Oh, there we go. It's forcing you to recognize that when you're doing a body scan, it's bringing attention to the areas that are out of whack, right? And so it just helps you to figure out where you are in the moment as you're going through meditation, so you kind of know what to focus on. So it's just interesting that she
Wow.
said, to do the body scan. That's what stood out to me.
Wow. As we go to Brother Tony, I just want to say this quickly, Sister Michelle. You give me a thought, and it hit me kind of like a rock. But I think we might agree that it is true that we maintenance our madness.
Mm.
We
Mm.
maintenance
Mm.
our depression.
Mm.
We maintenance our, meaning we give these things everything they need to thrive.
Mm.
And here we have techniques that allow us to do just the opposite. And what I love about the body scan coming together, Tony, is you can do the body scan anywhere, anytime. It puts you back in touch with your beautiful self. Brother Tony, what do you think?
Well, I kind of see you freezing up a whole lot, Brother Lyle.
Is that
But
right?
yes, sir. But I got the gist of what you asked. What my reflection since last time and in the past couple of times that we've been on, I actually got my students calmer by putting into practice just simple breathing
Wow.
techniques. When we started class, I said, okay, how's that? I asked my students, how many of you are feeling stressed out? About 90% of them put their hands up. And
Mm.
I said, well, let's try something. And I said, you can say a prayer, privately to yourself, And
Mm.
I said, well, now we're going to focus on our breathing.
Mm.
And I asked them, have you seen like little babies, how they breathe? Yeah, their stomachs like expand. Like, okay,
They
yeah, you see
recognize
your
it.
little
See that? They
brothers and sisters
recognize it.
do that. They recognize it. So the way that we're breathing oftentimes is wrong. They're
Mhm.
breathing right. We're breathing wrong. Let me show you. Let's all breathe. Like, don't breathe out of your mouth. Breathe out of your nose. Through your nose, and then breathe out through your nose. And we took that time to breathe in, breathe out. We did it at least 20 times.
Wow.
And I had a whole different class after that. They weren't stressed out. They were actively participating.
Mhm. How many
They're
teachers,
acting
Brother
out
Tony,
because they're
in schools
stressed out.
across America? How many teachers today, Brother Tony, just today across America, almost lost their mind because they couldn't control their class?
Come on now.
Mm.
Come on, family. Look,
And as we go
I've
further into
seen
the
teachers
school
carried
year,
out on stretchers, and not
yeah.
because they got hit.
As we go further into the school year, Brother Lyle, we could expect things to get crazier,
Mm.
um, especially when it comes down to our children because they're stressed out. And the way that they release, it has to have a release. So it's either going to have a release by doing things in a positive level and releasing that negative energy on a positive way, or we're going to release it like this,
Mm.
Have to
which
That is
applaud
we've
this team,
experienced an increase on
family.
that.
Every last person you hear speaking to you tonight has put into practice what we're giving you. Here's a beautiful principle that we're taught in Islam. And we're taught to want for our brothers and sisters what we want for ourselves. And I just want you to think about a group of individuals that are dedicated to bringing you actual practices so now you can maintenance your wellness,
mm.
maintenance your saneness. And so I just applaud you all for putting those things into practice. And we always invite you all to go on our Facebook page, look at the previous shows, dissect them. But let's get to work on loving our beautiful selves, particularly when we know a world is so dark right now. So I
Right.
just applaud you all for that practice.
Now, listen, can we get into before this comes on? Can we talk a little bit about the Kemetic and just the definition of it? How is it different? Just a little bit about the origin, so that hopefully we can hopefully get around. But as we're waiting, let's just I feel like I want to give everyone a kind of, it that doesn't know this what it is, and
Right.
so we can read it, or Sister Clearly you can read it.
Yeah,
Um,
let's read it. Sister Clean, if you can read it or someone can read it, and then we'll respond to the reading.
mhm.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so Kemetic yoga is a system of yogas which involves a combination of physical movement, deep breathing techniques, and meditation.
Mm,
Kemetic yoga is said to have originated in ancient Egypt.
mm,
Then it's known as Kemet, but yoga roots are documented as well known to be ancient Egypt. Sorry, ancient
Indian.
Kemet,
so
or Indian, right?
so right now what they're saying is what we're experiencing is something has dated back all the way from Mach, and
Mm,
that's MAAT. And I want to give you all kind of like a what that looks like and what that's because a lot of people are like, oh, what that is, what is that? I'm going to show you an actual symbol.
Okay.
And you'll be like, oh, I know what you're talking about. That's what that is. But this is the symbol of Ma'at.
Ma'at.
Ma'at. Ma'at. Yes. So, my country accent, Ma'at.
And leave that up there, Sister Kalila.
Yes.
Definitely leave that up there.
So this is actually one of the Kemetic positions in yoga. And this position is a very common position because a lot of times after you do the breathing technique, this is a position that a lot of the instructors want you to get in.
Right.
And if you notice that the hands are out, but both hands are actually together like fist formed to where you notice that.
Yeah,
and it's a certain way but you're breathing and it's actually allowing the organs to actually be aligned with the body in this certain position. So I wanted to, also share that as well.
And before you take it down, Sister Kalila, I want brothers and sisters who are listening to really take a look at, because what you're looking at right now is a complete educational system. Right now.
That's right.
A complete mathematic, a complete scientific, physiological, biological, astronomical. What you're looking at right now is a complete science that relates to our wellness by understanding how interrelated we are. And I'll close by saying, remember, family, people who are making decisions to commit suicide or attempt suicide or harm themselves or in a chronic mode of anxiety, in a chronic mode of depression, self-esteem has to play a part.
Right.
And because the American educational system, it doesn't give us a whole system of learning like what you're looking at. It breaks it down into bits and unrelatable pieces that we can't put together. And our people can't relate. So one of the beautiful things about understanding Kemet and the teachings of the Nation of Islam, we know that place wasn't called Africa originally.
Right.
And we people refer to it as Africa today, but when you go back before John Africanus, we had our own systems of life management. And I just wanted to say that about that. Thank you for sharing that, Sister Khalil. Take us back to our roots.
If I could say something about Ma'at, the major principle about Ma'at is balance. And right now we are imbalanced as a people. And so when we perform techniques like yoga or Kemetic yoga, or when we perform prayer, those of us who are Muslims, and we are oftentimes asked the question, well, why do you pray so much? Because we have to align our mind with the mind of God, and so that is truly seeking balance.
Excellent point, Brother Tony. And
Let's
remind our folks that this is not religious.
Right.
These are practices and techniques that are not religious.
Now, I want to bring up this point too, because I know when I heard of Kemetic yoga, I was like, well, what's the difference, right? So what we found is that it's this is a form of yoga, just like we just mentioned, just like Sister has mentioned, is ancient Egypt hieroglyphics that has a larger emphasis on a breathing pattern. So there's a diagram that we can show you later that shows you all the breathing patterns and what it's kind of what it's connected to, the philosophies behind it. Like Brother Lau said, it's about self-development, healing of the mind, the body, the spirit, the self-discovery. That was that whole scan that the sister was talking about on the video. So we have a chart that has the hieroglyphics to show each of the movements, but really that's there's a difference between, regular yoga and Kemetic yoga. And even though yoga is, I think the premise of yoga is to do all of those things, this is something that I think, like we mentioned, it's just dating back. It's our roots back to,
Mhm.
to the ancient times and what they did in Egypt back then. And so it's not so foreign about why we shouldn't, why we should do this today, because it's about balancing, like you said, Brother Lau. It's about balancing us out and getting us to be able to reconnect with the body so that we're not
Right.
disconnected. Because once we get
That's right.
disconnected, you know what happens, disease and
Right.
depression and all those things set in because the body is not in alignment.
And just Sister Michelle, the whole point about knowledge of self.
Mm-hmm.
If we just begin to, I'll never forget an experience I saw with my own eyes where a holistic doctor who practices based upon his study of ancient Kemetic sciences. There was a baby the baby could not breathe, and every time the baby took a breath, it gave one of those curling, chilling noises like, oh my God, is the next breath going to come? Like kind of thing.
Gosh.
As Almighty God allows my witness, this person who had knowledge of our system took his hand and put it somewhere underneath the armpit of the baby.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, all the phlegm started to release itself from the child.
Mm.
Look at that.
We just don't have knowledge of self because we're settling for a lower life, a lower science. So,
Come on now.
family, just think about it now. Let's just be very practical and real. How many people each of us personally know are no longer here because they did not have a mechanism or a way to
Mm.
slow down a
Mm,
racing mind in an insane world? And now,
mm,
Brother Tony is taking these practices and he's teaching them to our children who can
Right.
now survive and use these techniques at home and as they're going through other things. It's just a beautiful thing. So remember, our roots go deep, deep, deep back.
there
Thank you
you
for that,
go.
Sister Kalila.
You're welcome. Yes, absolutely. And and then when since Sister Michelle mentioned about the certain positions, and again, and first of all, I want to apologize to our listening audience. The sister got stuck in traffic, so unfortunately she would not be with us tonight.
Okay.
However, we're going to definitely try to get her on someone else that actually
On a future program.
yeah,
Mhm.
facilitates this type of technique. Because keep in mind, let me tell you what's so awesome about
Mhm.
this group. This group gets an assignment, we study, we analyze, we review it, we make sure before we even give it to you, we have a knowledge.
Mhm.
Now we're not masters of it, but we
Right.
Right.
have
Right.
a knowledge of
Mhm.
what we're discussing, and we can always bring it home with actual facts in regards to that. And Brother Lau, I want to also bring up what's so beautiful about our teachings and what
Mhm.
the Honorable Elijah Muhammad always taught us is to think 5 times before we
Mm,
speak,
mm,
and
mm, mm,
maybe we'll be
mm,
right. Okay, so
mm,
when we're thinking five
mm,
times, what are we doing within that 5 time regimen? What are we doing within that five? You know, we're breathing.
mm,
We're breathing. We're allowing our brain to, you know, facilitate some type of consciousness into thought.
mm.
And that's why when you're talking, you're supposed to always use your diaphragm.
Wow.
You ever notice those people, they talk so fast and it,
They're not breathing.
Right.
they're not
Wow.
breathing. They're
Wow.
not breathing at all. And
Mm,
it's
mm,
funny
mm,
because I do customer service. So by me on the phone with people, and they I say, well, may I have your member ID number? They say, I'm sorry, that
Okay.
was
mm.
because I
Read that to me
no,
again.
because I'm allowing
Mhm,
them
mhm,
to be
mhm,
at ease.
mhm.
right, right.
Okay, what's that account number again? Okay, can you say it a little slowly for me? And then they say, even though they probably mad, but I'd rather get that that mad breath
Wow.
than
Sis Kalila, I hope people don't miss what you just said, because here lies again another technique.
Mhm.
When you allow someone to do that, I had an awakening, if you will, when I was visiting with a foster home,
Mm,
in which there was the danger of the two sisters being split up,
mm,
and so in being placed to help so-called mediate that situation, it reminded me of the number one thing that we can do to brothers and sisters around us who are going through things. And you family,
mm.
come on now, you can look at somebody and know they're going through something. Let's just be real,
Right.
particularly people you're around. Here's something that we all can do. You ready? Just like Sister Kalila gave pause to that. Here it comes. You ready? Listen.
That's it.
Listen.
Beautiful
That's all
teaching.
you have to do.
And
Yeah, that's
see, now think about listening, like you trying to listen, but because you haven't studied the practices of slowing yourself down, you over
Right.
here, you're not paying the person no attention, your thoughts are wandering, so you don't even know how to listen. What
Mm,
we're sharing with you can help you center yourself so that you
right.
can allow yourself to be able to listen to someone who needs it. You ready? Just as much as you're going to need that next glass of water.
Mm,
mm,
That's right.
Mm,
mm.
good
Beautiful
point.
teaching.
Good
mm,
point, Brother
mm,
Loud. Good
I
point.
wanted to also
mm,
share this, going back to yoga. There are some techniques that I know a lot of times people like, oh, I do this in cardio. They was like, oh,
mm.
but these are all, again, practices that have actually been around for generations and generations. And it's so funny because when they start exploring our history, keep in mind when I use the term our history, they started utilizing they started looking at these patterns, and these patterns you'll find very interesting, in regards to what they saw on the wall. And I want to share this with you. If you notice, when you wake up in the morning, that first position,
Wait,
don't
oh,
we know? Don't we normally do that first position?
wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Come
Sister
on,
Kalila,
family.
can you make that a little bigger,
When
please?
when
Okay,
we
okay. Let me see
stretch,
if I can make it a
yeah.
big.
Right,
Talking about stretching positions, sister.
Right,
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
Too bad.
that second
Like,
row. I do that. I do that thing with the
Mhm,
arm up and the thing that I do that.
right,
mhm,
right.
mhm.
I do that.
Right, right. Some of
And
y'all
look
at
at
home
that.
right now, you can get your stretch on today, so follow along.
Yes.
Follow along.
So,
Some of you, shame of you, ain't stretched in out. Well, we ain't gonna go there for a minute, but follow along.
right. But do you
Mm.
understand how this will open up your
Oh my
pathways?
goodness.
Even when that first position, on the
Mm,
left hand side,
mm,
when somebody say, hey,
mm,
hey,
mm.
you're choking, put your
Right,
hands over your head, right?
right, right.
Because it's
That's
I
right.
do this
allowing
too. You
your
see that one?
breath.
I do that one. Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah, yeah. That
Right,
one.
you're allowing your
mhm,
breath to enter
mhm,
Yeah.
into your passages,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
where
yeah.
you
mm,
allow it to breathe. And then you're
mm,
going here, like, this is another one here, when you're putting your hands all the way back. Oh my
mhm,
god,
I
mhm,
do that.
mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
that
Yep.
That
feels so
look,
good.
the
it
three
does.
places, family, the three places where we hold the most stress and tension: our neck, our shoulders, and our
Right.
backs.
That's
I
Right.
right.
be a
At
witness.
home right now, do a body scan right now. Just do a
Mm,
body
That is
scan
true.
of your head, of your neck, and of your shoulders.
girl,
Right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Right? Since Kim putting in their hips, right? These are
Right.
places that we
Right.
hold stress and we hold tension, but these basic stretches, they automatically relieve the tension and
Mhm.
anxiety in those areas. And for those
Right.
of you who have chronic pain, in your neck, in your shoulders, right? Or in your head or your back. These can help alleviate that chronic pain.
That's true.
That's
Come
right.
on, Lyle.
That
Brother
is
This-
Lyle,
true.
have you ever heard the phrase, he's got a whole lot of weight on his shoulders?
Whoa, brother.
Mm.
Have I
Yeah.
heard of it? Right? I ain't gonna tell you. I ain't gonna tell you what my pain is right now, brother. I ain't even gonna tell you.
Oh, there you go.
I ain't
It's
even
very
gonna tell you,
important that we
brother.
stay active, family.
Woo.
And these are some other techniques. And again, all of these positions, they actually have a meaning to them. Again, I am not a professional, but I know. Just going to give you a disclaimer.
There
But
you
this
go.
is
That's a beautiful
again
thing. And
something
you don't have to
I
be to do that. Just
no,
be
you
the
really
copycat.
don't.
Be the copy the daggone thing what they're doing right now, family. Look at how
Exactly.
you're doing it and do what they're doing. It's all right to be a
Exactly.
copycat as long as you copying the right cat.
Right. And like I said, these are very beautiful techniques in regards to, and then this is the other one. If you look on the left hand side, this is the one that the sister actually started off with, the
Right.
laying down,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
It looks like a surrender pose.
Right.
Now, some people, I want them to be honest. I want you to be honest. You got two questions coming about this. A, have you ever laid down flat on your back and just concentrated on your breathing? In all of your how many years on the planet have you ever done that?
Mm.
B,
Well,
if you have, when's the last time?
exactly. That's where I was at, brother.
I was
When
gonna say,
the
I've done
last
it
time?
before,
When
but I
was the
haven't-
last time?
exactly. Very long time. But now
Your
listen,
stress is not going to just go away by itself, family.
it's not.
know.
But if we can, because I know we're closing, we're gonna close down early this evening, family.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we show a little bit of the video, just some more of a couple
Excellent.
of her exercises, and then
Excellent.
I feel that's some good information. I think, and then
We'll
we
do that.
can kind of wrap it up. We're gonna leave everyone off early this evening because Brother Tony has another show he's got to get prepared for.
And so I do want to say this as
We
we
gotta
go back
get
to the
going.
video, family. I do want to say this. You're going to notice a couple of things. You're going to notice, number one, a lot of the poses that you see, you may be familiar with. And you should
That's
be.
right.
Think about it, how we come across different religious backgrounds and lines. We got similarities in the way we do certain things.
It
You're
all
also going to
connects.
find the original languages that she uses for some of the poses that you may call other things in other yoga
Right.
forms. And you're going to also notice that everything she does is about connecting the entire system. And you can do it. Even if you're not an expert, you can do
You can
it.
do it.
Where'd you get that from? From that movie.
That's just me. That's just my antics.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Oh Lord.
Wow. Whew.
And some of y'all already got your
Lovely
mat at home,
topic.
so you might as well follow along. Get your mat and follow along.
Was no longer shiny and didn't really trust that it would return in the morning. When it did, he would play outside and share the light with his friends and family. He was the most.
I'm gonna fast forward it on this movie. Okay. Not movie, but this.
Okay, the story.
Yeah, the story.
Somebody drop it in the link if somebody wants to get the whole thing. Drop it in the link.
Okay.
Be sure to ground your feet under your big toe mound, pinky toe mound, and your heel.
Ooh.
Soften your knees and tuck your hips. Expand the space between your collarbone. Inhale, hands out to sides. Exhale, hands to meet in front of your thighs. Inhale, soft wrists. Hands rise, palms together. Exhale, palms to heart center. Energy rising with your arms high above your head to the sky. Index fingers and thumb meet. Expand the space in your chest, arching your back. Expanding. Exhale, release. Bringing your shoulder blades together. Hands are out to the sides. Inhale, hands come up. Index, thumbs meet. Palms touch. Exhale, palms back to heart center, softening the knees, gently tucking the spine. Inhale, palms straight out, flat back, forward fold over on your exhalation. Bringing the backs of your palms to the mat. Inhale, fingertips to the mat, tilting your pelvis up to the sky. Exhale, grabbing hold of your ankles, elbows out, chest to thighs. If you need to, please do bend your knees here. Breathe. Inhale, flat back. Form your hand into a pyramid and exhale them to the mat. Inhale, ground your hands. Step back with your left foot into a lunge, adjusting your front leg so that your knee is behind your ankle. Look forward. Release your left knee to the mat. Point your left foot, placing your instep down on the mat. On your next exhalation, scoop your arms under your right thigh. Inhale your arms up and around to 3/4 of the way. Exhale, hands together and down to meet your right thigh. Inhale, expanding your chest. Exhale your hips down toward the mat. Inhale, bringing space. Exhale, backward bend. Release your neck and back. Inhale, back up. Exhale, fold over your right leg, grounding your hands to the mat. Grounding your left foot, look forward and lunge. Exhale your right leg into downward dog extension or pyramid extension, and release your right foot to the mat. Stepping forward to adjust your feet as needed. Be sure that all 3 points of your feet are grounded on the mat. Your hands are grounded in pyramid pose. Breathe, maintaining your tongue connection. Inhale, up on your toes. Exhale your knees to the mat. Tabletop position. Exhale as you sit back on your heels. Moving into Heronket or Sphinx pose. Look forward, expanding your collarbone, opening your heart space. Breathe. Extend your arms forward, hands grounded on the mat. Diving your head low, moving into Cobra or Echo. Inhale and exhale your head back, releasing your neck and allowing your energy to flow. Inhale, back onto tabletop, bending your toes under. Exhale, pyramid pose. Adjusting your feet. Rising on your toes. Exhale, knees to mat. Point your toes and lay your insteps down. Exhale back to sit on your heels. Extend your arms forward, planting your hands. Child pose. Your feet are parallel here. Your knees are together if that is comfortable. And breathe. Maintain connection to your breath. Inhale. Cobra. Echo. Exhale, release your head, neck, back. Inhale, tabletop, bending the toes back into pyramid pose.
Wow.
Every single move has a purpose. And for the brothers that are out there, I want you to know that the brother you're listening to practices yoga.
Yes, talk
And,
about it, Brother Brown.
right?
Yeah.
I had to be honest, long time athlete, and suffered from chronic back issues, but I have to be honest with you, since doing yoga, I don't have those issues anymore. And I'm still very active. I still play ball, and I don't go to the senior citizen court to play ball, although I can probably show some ID and do that. But these life-saving practices, again, remember the word, family, recreation. It means to recreate life-giving practices. Too many of us in our households, too many of our children's, and too many people we know don't know how to get rid of stress. And these little techniques, just doing one or two of the techniques, I just want to let y'all know it works, and don't act like we don't need it. That's why you're behind crazy right now.
Yeah, we
Silly
need
rabbit.
tricks for kids. No, I appreciate what you just mentioned, Brother Lau, because yeah, we do need it. We got to do something, family. The meditation, all the techniques that we've shown in the last couple of shows, and even this evening. I mean, this is taking it right back to our roots.
That's
So
right.
even if you don't know how to do all of it, we all know how to do some of the moves because we've learned them in some form or fashion over in our lifetimes. But sometimes that's what it's calling for. You need to put some attention to that, to your body, and so these movements allow you to do that. Now, I have to be honest. I'm not a particular lover of yoga. I prefer Pilates, but yoga is so intense that you really got to get comfortable with it. And with me, it's just I started with some different some different moves that I'm comfortable with, and and then I go in and out of it until I get comfortable. But the bottom line is it helps you breathe, it helps stretches your muscles, all the tension, it just helps it release. And as we get older, if we want to get older, right? Right.
Hey, family, the
Right.
name of the game is just stick around. That's the name
I'm
of the
just saying,
game.
look, I'm just
Right.
saying.
Right. And Sister Kalila, I just want to say this real quick before you respond, because I think it's extremely important. And not that I'm senile, because my mind is pretty sharp, family, but I don't want to forget, for the love of you. Sometimes, can I be honest? Most of the time, you have no idea how stressed your system is until you try some of these practices. Because
Right.
we've normalized being able to function with tension and stress. We've normalized being able to function with depression. And until we release these techniques, we'll be like, wow, I had no idea I was carrying all that unnecessary weight, family.
Wow.
And Brother Loud, I mean, you brought up a very good point, because I always go back to that time when they diagnosed me with hypothyroidism, and they said the main thing that you will start from is heart palpitation. You know, not really able to slow down the heart. So it was times again I can walk up the street and I had to actually sit down because I was so out of breath. I could not even bear to even get up or even, do just your regular walk regimen, without just being able to say, okay, I have to sit down or I have to lay down because it was just that bad. And and at the time, again, I was practicing boxing. So what happened in that case was my doctor was like, hey, you can't not do boxing anymore, simply because your heart will give out on you. And he said, you need to do something else. So my something else was yoga. And I practiced yoga for like 5 years. And with the 5 years, I learned how to breathe. I learned how to maintain and control my heart just basically by breathing. Okay. And it's important because if you notice when you go to the hospital or go to the emergency room, the first thing they're going to do is put you on a breathing machine. You can't breathe. You're having trouble with your heart. They're going to put those things right in your nose and they're going to immediately put you on a breathing machine. Why? Because your breathing is life. Without breath, you don't have any life.
So and for you perfect people that don't believe that, hold your breath real quick until we finish. Right. Just hold it. Take a deep breath right now and just hold it. We'll tell you when to let it go. Just hold it.
It's very important to and I actually, we definitely need to get my dear brother on the show because he's pretty much somebody that I actually went to because he was one of the regiments that helped save my life because he also taught me how to breathe. And I'm gonna get our brother on the show as well. But that was one of the things. And then what I learned about yoga and what my instructor said, she said, when as you get older, if you notice when you get older, older people tend to bend over. Because it's not that they're old, it's not that their body has worn out, it's because they was not using their thigh muscles enough.
That's right. And that's where the majority of back issues come from.
Exactly. I was like, thighs.
Weak leg muscles are the number one reason for pulling back muscles, family.
Exactly. Wow. And so that's why you see a lot of older people like lunch down because they were not utilizing their thigh muscles, in their early adolescence. And yoga techniques will do that for you. If you learn those techniques, I'm telling you, you want to be a 75-year-old, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. These are people that ought to always utilize their muscles. I mean, we have a man that can pump 200 to 300 pounds bench press, and I mean, and in his 80s. And this is important because you have to learn these techniques because when you get older, you can't. It's no way to reverse it. You can try. But you ain't no reversing. So practice it now while you can.
I want to throw in here while you said that. You just reminded me of a personal testimony that I had a chance to witness, and that's the testimony of Alonzo Mourning. A lot of people might remember when he was diagnosed with a kidney disease, and he actually had to have a kidney transplant. They thought he would never play basketball again.
I remember that.
And so he ended up not only playing basketball again, but winning championship basketball again. But one of the practices that he took under his wing was yoga. And it's in his book. He has a book called Resilience. And he said, if he could have done and been introduced to yoga at a younger age, how much more So these are things we really have to start introducing our children to,
Right.
our family, because remember, these are life-saving practices. The idea of gaining numbers on your age is not to lose your vitality. You want to
Right.
keep your
Right.
vitality.
Absolutely. Look,
Absolutely.
I know about none of y'all. I'm
Right.
trying to
But I
keep
know
it
we
tight
gotta
as long as I
right.
can.
We
Right.
gotta wrap
And
put a bow on though, because I
definitely wrapping it up. So with that being said, Brother Lau, of course, you know what?
come
Our
on now. I
tree
know
of the
you got
week
one.
is
Let's take a guess. Yoga, family.
Yeah.
Put that on your tree. There's so much stuff on our tree right now that we gave people on the tree. You probably added 50 years to your life just by getting the stuff off our tree.
right. And I just want to give you just some key benefits on yoga, which we've already talked about, but I just want to bring it home, Brother Lau, in regards to the benefits of yoga. First of all, healthy breathing. Keep in mind, we're talking about healthy breathing, not just breathing, healthy breathing, utilizing your diaphragm, being intentional when you're breathing. A lot of times we're not intentional when we're breathing. We're just breathing for, like you said, Brother Lau, survival. All right. But healthy breathing is very important that we have to realize. Okay.
That's right.
Muscle strengthening. Just went in talking about, why we are so hunched
You're
back.
gonna know what kind of shape you're in on that yoga mat, big tough guys. You're gonna know.
Oh yeah, you definitely will know. It will bring it to home. You'll be like, oh my God, I'd rather play basketball than yoga because it's gonna really give you some real workout. But going into muscle strengthening, very important because we're getting older. We have to strengthen our muscles.
Absolutely.
Because I'm telling you, if you don't strengthen them, you will lose them. You don't use them, you will lose them. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The second thing is skeletal alignment, being aligned. A lot of times we're like, oh, we need to go to a chiropractor because why? We're out of line.
We're out of alignment.
And when you are out of when you're out of alignment, you have no idea of the pain, the torment mentally you are experiencing when you're out of line. And people be like, what that have to do with mental health? It has a lot to do with mental health when your body is not aligned. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the second thing is stress relief. Going back to again that muscle, that skeletal alignment, stress relief. It relieves stress. Okay.
Yep.
And now this is the key for people who are suffering from respiratory due to the coronavirus and having these blood clogs as a result of the coronavirus. It improves blood flow.
That's right. That complete circulation.
So these are basically key elements that I encourage you all to. And I'm telling you, if you go to your nearest yoga class. I mean, I have one right up the street, but right now I'm doing boxing. But back to boxing.
You mentioned something key about the circulatory system, and I feel obligated to say this.
Yes.
All of us have dealt with before at one time or another a clogged or a slow drain in your home.
Yes.
And when you have a clogged or a slow, yes, the faucet still works, the water still comes out. It may take a while for it to go down, but yes, it goes down. But what eventually happens? It gets more clogged. And then remember how it feels when you unclog it? It's the same thing we're doing to our circulatory system when we do certain yoga moves and yoga poses. You're opening up that flow all over again. So don't be a clogged sink. Is I guess what I'm saying. Don't be a clogged sink.
I like that analogy. Unclog yourself. Look, through yoga.
Right.
All right.
Somebody gonna clog it for you. And you don't want that.
You don't want that, family.
Just saying.
I know. But listen, let's land this ship. Thank you. I want to thank the audience for coming on and listening to our discussion on Kemetic yoga. Um, it's another, again, we just keep bringing it level after level of different ways of you relieving the stress, the pain, the depression, whatever it is that you're going through. What we're trying to give you is solutions, right? The answer is not always, right, take your life or do something that you'll regret. Sometimes it just means that sometimes you got to slow down and recognize that where you are, and remember if you're in present time or not. That's a big key, because what's happening now is what's happening now. If nothing's happening now and you're there, this means that you're not in present time. So all of these things that we're talking about, these are just things that brings awareness, mindfulness, right? And that allows you to be able to function. So
Excellent.
with that being said, I thank everybody for joining in. Please, this is not the end of this show, right? Continue, share it, like it, and I believe that what we're giving you is valuable enough for us to say, share it.
Shit,
It's
people work. People want to live.
right. You may not like yoga, but maybe somebody else that's suffering does. Some people that are going through diabetes or having things happening with their body, sicknesses, these things can help. So I'm just trying to, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, he's just a traffic cop. He's just trying to slow you down.
Right.
Tip yourself over into the grave, right? And that's where that how to eat to live book 1 and 2, right? That's what he's talking about. He's trying to slow us down. So eating right, thinking right, doing things that allows the body to be right allows you to be here and have a quality of life that you want. So I will end this to say it was a pleasure for me being here. Thank you. I'm your sister Michelle, your moderator for Thursday Night Talks, hanging out with the crew, hanging out with the audience. Always a pleasure. And listen, Brother Lau, I'm gonna hand it over to you because you got to land the ship and then get it to Sister Cleveland and then back
All
over
righty.
to you. We close it
Excellent.
out.
Thank you, Sister Michelle. 3 quick things from me, family. Number 1, remember, exercise to the body is like study to the mind. It's like prayer to the soul. When we have all 3, we become whole.
Like that, Brother Lau.
Number 2, family. Number 2, remember that we are biological, chemical, and spiritual beings. One of the beautiful things about the different techniques that are being shared is the chemical reactions that are necessary to cause anguish and violence and emotional depression. They can't activate in the same space. Matter of fact, why don't you go ahead and try to frown and smile at the same time? They can't activate in the same space. So remember, this is about saving lives. And the last thing I want to say is remember these type of practices that all involve some form of meditation and breathing with a purpose and connection. Remember, they all lead toward manifestation. Many of you have beautiful ideas. The 7th Region Coalition, we look forward to bringing many ideas and helping you bring them to fruition that our people need to help save lives. But a lot of people are stuck. So the way to get unstuck, put these practices to work. And the best example I can give you is, I don't know if we still have a flyer of that beautiful brother that's going to be speaking in just a couple of weeks, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. He right there, he's the perfect example of everything we're talking about right now. And to know that he's bringing us a Savior's Day message that is entitled The Swan Song. Family, February 27th. The Swan Song by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Savior's Day. Tune in and tune up.
Brother Lau, Brother Lau, I don't have nothing to say. You done said it all.
He done said it all. I know.
Said it all. That was a very Mike dropping, mouth
Yes.
opening,
Alhamdulillah.
just
Mm.
you know, and I can only concur with everything that you said, Brother Lau,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, we can't even celebrate victory anymore because there's so
Wow.
many deaths.
Think about that.
We
Yeah.
can't even celebrate
Right.
a victory because we're
Right.
losing so much in this life that we're holding on to loss instead of life.
Woo.
Right,
Mm.
right, Galila, right.
Mm.
I mean, it's really an oxymoron when you can get up every morning and
Wow.
take a breath and
Mm.
you're still holding on to something that's already gone.
A
Wow.
grumpy Super Bowl winner, huh? Imagine
Right,
that. Grumpy.
right.
Mm.
So we have to learn how to release. Unless you're I'm gonna go back to one of our philosophers. You know, one of our philosophers, Life Jennings,
Come
said,
on.
Life Jennings, go ahead.
our philosopher Life Jennings
That's right.
said that we are comfortable at the bottom and like to stay there.
Mm.
Aren't you tired of being comfortable at the bottom?
Mm.
Our enemy has put us there already.
Mm.
So why are we giving the enemy what they want?
Come on.
Go against the tide.
Take care of yourself, people.
Come on. Get up. Stand up for your rights and fight to the death. Don't lie down to the death. Fight to the death. All right?
My.
Yes,
Beautiful words. Woo. Talk about a mic drop. I'm ready to go fight right now. How you gonna hear that and not fight? So, well, family, you know what that means. We will always remind you here at the 7th Region Coalition, we are not a gang, a crew, or a clique, but you do know we love you and we are organized together in a coalition to help save lives. And in case you all don't know who we are, right? 7th Region Coalition!
Come on, Sister Khalil, come on. Man. She ain't with us, but laugh. She ain't with us.
Love you, family. Stay blessed
Love
and
you
strong.
all. Have
Happy
a good
Savior's
night.
Day.